Hey you guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Juicy's Kitchen. Today I have a quick meal for you guys. Yes, I already started, but you know how I am. It's dinner time, it's time to get it ready. We're making enchiladas the juicy way. In this plate right here, I have the enchilada sauce. And how I made that with 5 of these. What I did was take the top off and I dumped the seeds out. It's better if you take the top off and dump the seeds out before you start. But I used 5 of those to make that sauce. I used 5 of these. I took the top off and I dumped the seeds out and I let them soak in cold water for about 10 minutes. And then I put them on the stove and I let them boil for 5 minutes and they got a little tender. And then what I did, I put them in the blender and I used 1 cup of diced tomatoes and 2 garlic cloves and remember what I said, put the 2 garlic cloves and I put it in the blender and I mixed it together, but I also used a handful of fresh cilantro. Yes, a handful of fresh cilantro. And I mixed it all together in the blender. And it came out like this. See, if you eliminate the seeds from the beginning before you start, you don't have to strain it through the strainer. And this is how the sauce turned out. Okay, and we're going to incorporate that with some ground beef. This is the ground beef that I used. All I did was I used about 3 to 4 teaspoons of Sazon seasoning and also the complete seasoning. I used 1 whole onion, a bay leaf, and all I did was let everything brown. And I also put a teaspoon of cumin and also 2 teaspoons of chili powder and 2 to 3 teaspoons of paprika. And baby, it is wonderful. I drained off the fat and now the meat is perfect. You let it brown, drain off your fat. You want to drain off your fat. And now I dipped each shell. What I'm doing is, excuse me guys, these are the shells that we're using, but I dipped the shells in the sauce. You want to dip the shell in the sauce so you have all both sides. Now that you have all both sides saturated with the sauce, and remember, make your own sauce, it tastes a lot better. Now we're going to add the cheese. I'm going to make mine really cheesy. And then you want to wrap it. And you want the closed end face down. And we're going to put a little bit more sauce on there. And then I'm going to continue rolling them up. I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on top. I have the oven on 350. I'm going to put them in there for a good 10 to 15 minutes just to let the cheese melt and everything, because everything is done. The meat is done. We're going to let the cheese melt and we're going to pull it out. But I have the oven on 350. We're going to let it cook for 15 minutes just to let the cheese melt, and I shall return with it. Okay, you guys, I have them all wrapped and I have them all in the pan together and I'm sprinkling the cheese on it. I have the oven on 350. And remember, we're just going to let them stay in there for a good 10 to 15 minutes just so the cheese melts. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of parsley to make it look fantabulous, the Juicy's way. We're going to put them in the oven for 15 minutes on 350 just to let the cheese melt, and I shall return. And we are back. Yes, you guys, the enchiladas are done. Yes, juicy enchiladas are done. I baked them in the oven on 350 for 50. Don't they look delicious? Make sure you guys like and subscribe and try out Juicy's enchiladas. Yes, made the Juicy's way. 15 minutes in the oven on 350 and